never gonna take that from me. No, I'm gonna be who I wanna be. Oh, say what you wanna say, I'll do it my way. I'm swimming in a sea of dreams all day. Nobody's gonna hold me underneath. You don't gotta believe in me. I know who I wanna be. You don't gotta believe in me. Gotta believe in me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one team who wants to ground and pound. The Bills are number one in rushing yards, going up against the Jags, who will need to be strong up front. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jaguars, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So the D-line's going to spread out. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run the option left. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, it's Bell. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. 3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down. On play action, now Bortles. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And he comes back with one complete. Touchdown, Jaguars. Their big tight end with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. You and I talk a lot about these special teams and how important those can be. That comes into play here. The defense, not very alert.
And this is something you work on all the time as a defender. Always saying, alert, be ready for the fake. But sometimes you fall asleep anyway.
So the flag is for roughing the kicker, a big 15-yard penalty.
And I'm not sure that was the time to go all out after the kicker. Plenty of time left in this game.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes this for 3 to the 29. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
No matter how you evaluate quarterbacks, at some point arm strength is going to come into the conversation. I'm really impressed by what I saw on that throw on the out route.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
They'll drop to throw. And an alley to run. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. No gain on the screen there. It's second down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Now a carry for Lorenzo Taliaferro. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and it brings up 4th down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Looking again for Watkins, and this time that's complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. And the seemingly endless drive continues.
Lucky 56. Now let's go. 3-19.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bills are an extra point away from tying the football game. And his kick is right through. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. But they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle. Bortles to throw on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Throwing his Bortles on third down. Finding time. Going for the deep ball. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Yeah, this place has notoriously never been kind to visiting field goal kickers. You get those wins that really whip through the inner bowl, not to mention the urban legends about stadium workers opening and closing the tunnel doors. But for whatever reason, this one winds up off target.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time. Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney!
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
All right, now, look at 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Here we go, Leopard!
From the shotgun. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Back to throw. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, you know, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football.
And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bills have taken the lead.
Well, 2 touchdowns scored. I know his team's happy. His coaches are happy. How about the fantasy owners of this game?
Always happy with 2, but they'd like 3 or 4. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us to look now at the Bills' defense. And they got to be feeling good about forcing that long missed field goal the last go-around.
And you know what upsets a kicker more than anything? Is missing a kick they think they can make and feeling like the other side believes that they had something to do with it. And it doesn't matter to those guys on defense. I know they're taking full credit. Yep, we forced him into the miss, and they're going to ride that confidence the rest of the way. We'll see if the kicker's able to get his confidence back as well.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on third down. From the gun on third down, Bortles. This is Bell on the dump off. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
A gain of 3, second down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Surveying the field. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who is that strong, that agile, he's a lot to deal with. Sometimes you have to double him, and sometimes you're not able to block him no matter who's trying.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Now Bortles. He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Will Fuller with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. And his kick is good. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And the Bills getting set to go. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
Fresh set of downs here.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Rolling to his left. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Watkins alone on the left side. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills have broken the tie. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Carpenter now for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. On first down, Bortles. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run. Big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. A couple of Bills team up to bring him down there.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Their big tight end with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving Day. You know, when we get together this year, when the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
12 yards there as they move the chains.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete. So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store.
Here we go now. Green.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Rashad Perriman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bills have broken the tie.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. You know, normally he's probably pretty happy with his performance at this point. He's played pretty well. Bottom line, they're down on the scoreboard, so I'm guessing he's not that happy.
No, the fantasy owners who have him for this week, oh, they're happy with what's going on. But for him leading a team, trying to win a ball game, I agree.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Bortles throwing on second down. He's got time. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. And it's second down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. They'll get 4 on second down, but it leaves them with third and still 9 to go. And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on third down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. Still on his feet. Now the Bills will take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So on fourth down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Watkins alone on the left side. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So many components go into a well-executed screen pass. You've got to sell. Offensive line's got to sell like they've missed blocks, and then they move out, and they're out in front of the running back. He's got to sell that he's trying to block, and then he slips out into the route. The quarterback has to sell that maybe he's trying to throw it downfield. Instead,
now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They come out here in the I. Now a handoff here to his running back. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over. Let's go. Detroit. 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
and this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The numbers comparison last week, really good game. Here, I don't know. He's not hitting the hole as fast as he was a week ago.
Do you get the sense that maybe, you know, his timing's off a little bit?
Yeah.
Because last week, I think you were talking about how quick he was to the hole and how fast he was through the hole. And that created some of those big runs because it allowed some of those 2nd and 3rd level blocks from his offensive line. In this game, I feel like the blocking's still there, but he's just not taking advantage of it.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. They'll They'll go again with Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And he is having a nice bounce-back game. I know in the meetings this week I kind of did the faux pas of asking, did he tweak something? Because he just wasn't sharp last week. They said no, he was fine, and he's showing that here in this one.
And I was really glad that was you who asked that question.
I knew you would.
No, I was like, hey, that's my man right there. Take one for the team. But I thought it was a legitimate question because the way he played last week, you wondered if maybe there was an injury that they hadn't discussed or talked about. They assured us no, and what we're seeing so far, it is no. He's quicker to the hole, faster than other people, and he's finishing runs in a big way, dropping his shoulder at the end of them.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
They go play action here on first down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Touchdown, Jaguars. Will Fuller with his 13th touchdown of the year and second of the game. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better. Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And some room to roll now. They give him 12 yards and a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now they try the right side here and give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from tilting the rock that much.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw, and he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive. Nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
I guarantee every coach wants to go for it on 4th and 1 in this spot, but so few of them have the guts to do it in their own territory. But he puts his faith in his offensive line, and they're able to pick up the first.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, You had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Now, this will be the 9th play on this drive. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that. And the ball that you throw has to get back to at least the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, you face an intentional grounding call.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Bortles now on first down. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Again, we'll see the pistol here.
There we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. 2nd down, and the offense in search of 6 yards. Out of the pistol, it's Bell. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
Le'Veon Bell, it's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Le'Veon Bell, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Jaguars have moved out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit. And that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that. That was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front. Lofted it to the runner. And now, not only does he have open space in front of him, He's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
Now it's 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make them.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Malik Jackson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. 2nd down, sack by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on 3rd? We'll see. They'll come out in the pistol. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Carpenter knocks it through, and that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I guess they're thinking their hands were tied, but in the 4th quarter, that field goal, it really might not help them much at all.
Yeah, I mean, you still need a touchdown. Another field goal does you no good, so it'll be interesting to see what the media reaction is if the score stays where it is.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football.
And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up and they tend to play well.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Escaping the pressure right. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 1 score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. Marvin Lewis tries for it, but comes up empty. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. On 2nd down, it's Bell. Le'Veon Bell. Kiss him goodbye. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
Green, 90.
Play action. Now it's Bortles. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and forced an incompletion.
And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now. Here's Brad Nordman now, as he's on to punt for Jacksonville.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late. They go play action here on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Malik Jackson in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. Back to throw now in his own end zone. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Back to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Down 4 late. Got to go for it here on 4th down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you're talking about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still.
Rashad Perriman off to the races. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Rashad Perriman, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you already see him scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. A gain of 39 that time. And they're going to speed things up here. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And now this is back-to-back weeks that he has treated us with a really solid performance.
We know he's great. We expect it. But this is pretty special what we're watching here. We're watching a guy in total command of every situation, throwing the ball well, guiding his team, moving them. This is a whole lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was fun last week. Sometimes it feels like we're in all these games.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here come the Bills. One possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation.
Sammy Watkins, he's going to go. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So many practices we watched over time where the offense works on scoring late in the game and finding a way to win, as we just saw there.
Just saw it right there. Now can they preserve that advantage that they just got? After the TD, here's Carpenter on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. A chance for us now to look at this Bills defense again. They've got a situation where a field goal ties it. How do you defend this? Because you obviously don't want to give up the touchdown. How aggressive do you get?
That's always the key, isn't it? Where is the line on aggressiveness to over-aggressiveness? And I think most coordinators are looking at it like run your regular defense.
That's caught inside the 20. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. And they'll give it to him here. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, He was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 15 yards there on the scramble and a first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. So nothing there. I don't know that that's all in the back, though. You got to look at blocking there, don't you?
I would agree with that totally. At some point, they have to win at the point of attack. Instead, it was the defense getting it done again and holding them to no gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. And a pretty simple completion there underneath, but a successful one for the offense.
Partner, it doesn't have to be the big shots downfield all the time. Having that safety net underneath is a great thing for a quarterback.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out here in the eye. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Check! Blue 90! Blue 90! No. Check! Patriot! Check! Blue 90!
Looking to throw. Oh, and it's intercepted. Taking it right down Broadway. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I love to see games finish that way.
So for the Jags, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, it's a loss that could wind up costing them a first-round bye as they dip to 9-3. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.